I've not even been here for a week, but my oxygen bill has totaled to 300,000. That is what is up for this particular episode. Hey you, welcome to another episode of Whispers Within, where every story has a heartbeat. I am your host, Raf Masega. I did want to start by me explaining myself, but I have no other option than me to start by explaining myself why we've not had episodes in the last 2 weeks. First and foremost, let me start by appreciating you so much for checking up on me. But it's not even funny, but let me just start by appreciating everyone who came to my DM to check up on me. Others who came to be like, where Ikwapi episode. You know, when you see such message, you just feel motivated and feel like, oh, somebody's really looking forward to your episodes. You know, somebody's loving what you're doing. Somebody's appreciating your work out here. I mean, how many people will appreciate what you do? You who is listening to this, you know, I feel like I will do justice to those people by me starting by explaining myself why we've not posted I have not posted any new episode for the last 2 weeks. Let me say it was more of a me thing, just relaxing and taking things easy. Remember, okay, the first week that I didn't post, the first Monday which I didn't post was because of a friendship reconnection. What is a friendship reconnection? So there's this friend of mine from way back, Kitambo. Like, okay, I think we've marked 10 years ever since we knew each other. It's over 10 years. But now the last time we set eyes on each other was 8 years ago. If you're listening to this in 2024, it was 8 years ago, right? So ever since the 8 years ago, we've always kept maybe like our small conversation online, like now and then, not so often, but it was just random conversation online just now and then. And after everything, after shule, we here in campus, that is when I was like, hi, so siku hizi unakuanga wapi, nini, such kind of things. And I just came to realize it was just a few kilometers from where I used to stay. You all know the place I used to stay. If you're a newbie, I am so sorry. I'm not going to mention that place again because, So yeah, there was that. I have always planned on visiting this guy for some amazing reconnections ever since my first year. Yeah, ever since my first year. But I don't know what has been happening because I have never had the opportunity to, be like, no, this is the day. Let me take myself. This is the day. Let me just create this time for the reconnection. I never had that time. So I don't know what was happening. I feel like it's more of schoolwork and the fact that first years usually have so much on the table. Second year the same. Actually, let me not continue because I'll also say that at the end for the other same. So yeah. Anyway, I get to have had the opportunity of me reconnecting with him. It was this certain weekend, now the weekend before the Monday that I didn't post, the first Monday that I didn't post. And I was like, now, okay, the previous weekend I had postponed. So no, this one I have to walk my talk. Because I remember he was like, I see you couldn't walk your talk again. Because I've always been like, I'm coming. And I don't show up. So no, this time I was like, so dead serious. Like, okay, this is it. I mean, what is the reason that is going to hold me back? So fast forward, it's Sunday. Nikaji prepare, went to church, came back, slept, had a good nap, and then woke up later. Gioni went to his place. It's just like few meters or even like approximately a kilometer from where I stay now currently. And I go visit him and we had so much to talk about. And I mean, 8 years is not a joke. I feel like we didn't even exhaust everything, and it was so therapeutic to me. Mind you, remember, it was just a week after I came to talk about how I had had episodes of breakdown. So to me, the reconnection was so therapeutic and so healthy. I felt light because some of the things that we talked about were things that kidogo challenged me. Oh, let me tell you, that was one night I remember I totally opened my heart open. You know what I mean? I was like, this is it. So yeah, by the time I was leaving later that jioni again, because I went in jioni, nilifika huko jioni nikatoka jioni around 9 usiku. So yeah, I didn't post. I mean, I just came and slept because the following day I was to go to work and I had not just ironed my clothes. I had just not done a lot of things and I have to prepare for tomorrow. I have to prepare today. You know what I mean? So like if it's a Monday, I have to make sure by the time I'm sleeping on Sunday, I know the full outfit that I'm going to wear. I have to inspect the outfit and be like, it's okay, it's ironed, kila kitu iko sawa, and then I sleep. So I just come and sleep. I didn't have the time. The fact that this episode should air first thing early in the morning, that is on Monday at 7 a.m. The episode should be up. So I was like, nah, let me just sleep. And the fact that I was very happy and very light, I was like, I just need a good sleep. Let me tell you, I slept like a baby. I woke up the following day on Monday. It was my best Monday. Oh my God, it was my best Monday. I woke up feeling relaxed. I woke up feeling so energetic and like I'm just ready to push, you know. Yeah, I didn't post because of that. Let me just challenge you. You might have that friendship of yours that seemingly kosana, you guys just circumstances or nature forced you to be like away from each other. You know what I mean? Like for us, it was nature and life that made us, not meet in the 8 years because I mean shule ndio hiyo yako sijui wapi mi niko wapi. We come to campus, we're in different campuses, yako wapi sijui mi niko wapi. And yeah, so I mean, why don't you take this time, try to think about it. Think about that old friend of yours who maybe your reconnection can mean something, Second week, I didn't post because I was so tired, so damn tired. I have never been tired in life like, like that weekend. I remember I slept on a Saturday, woke up around 11 a.m. The previous Friday, I was getting in the house around 10, 11. Went to a phone conversation for 3 good hours with my good friend. And then I was sleeping at 1 something in the AM. That was on Saturday. So I woke up 11 a.m., took my breakfast and slept immediately. So like I just woke up to eat and sleep. And again, I woke up at 5 in the PM. And the only thing that made me wake up was because I was to eat ugali. And I remembered, I have not done shopping for the house. I didn't have money by the for shopping. The truth is, I didn't have money for shopping, like to do, you see, like I love doing my shopping as a whole. The moment I get in that supermarket, I want to shop for everything. If it's kitchen wise, if it's cloth wise, I have to get everything for that house. The fact, so that at least the whole of that month, I will not again, stress by going to the shops, getting small things in small quantities. So the moment I just land and I'm like, I'm doing my shopping from the toilet to the kitchen to the whatever, I will do full house shopping. That is me. So by me saying I didn't have money for shopping, I just mean I didn't have the money to do the whole shopping, the whole house shopping, So I just went to the supermarket just to get myself some flour, some maize flour. And that is what made me wake up at 5 p.m. Otherwise, kako ka usingizi kangeslap hadi maybe 10 in the PM. Again, I'm this kind of person, if I'm sleepy, I never feel hungry. So I would have actually slept again on an empty stomach and be so okay. So yeah, I woke up on Sunday so tired, went to church, I was late, kufika huko, sit zimejaa cause I was late. I stood for 2 good hours until the mass was over. So you can imagine how my weekend was. Coming back to the house, I just came, ate lunch and slept. Again, I have to prepare for Monday, and that's how I didn't post for the second week. But hey, this is episode 4 that you're about to listen to. And without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us dive right into Birthday in the Office and a sermon that touched my heart. So, what we do, hey, ancestors, I'm just This is just the beginning. So what we do in our office, it's a culture that I met. I mean, I have not been in that office for long now. I feel like it's few months. Yeah, few months. And this is a culture that I met there. And it's such a nice culture that I would wish it would be happening in every workplace or workspace in this country. You know what I mean? Actually, it's something that I wish that my next workplace, I will meet such a thing. And if I don't, let me meet at least people whom will be ready to cooperate with me if I be the one to implement this particular culture. So fast forward, let me just give flowers to this lady who sits next to me in the office, who is actually working in the same department as me. I came to understand that she and her friend, who again is in that office but different department, are the two great minds behind this certain culture of birthdays in the office. Or can we call them office birthdays? Whatever, you know? And it's just something, I don't know how she came up with the idea. I don't know. I wish I could ask. I wish I could ask honestly, but I just don't know. It's something that never happens in any other office in my company. It's just our office alone. Do you know what that means? Like other offices discussing and being like, eh, office flani flani kona birthday leo, kona keki nimeona sijui nini, you know. So yeah, I mean, that was a great idea. So the whole idea was coming up with monthly birthdays. So she comes, collects money, or you send money to her, and at the end of the month, there will be a cake to celebrate people born on that month. So in every month from January to December, there have to be a birthday cake. So those are 12 birthday cakes in a year, and you have to celebrate people. And I think in every month, there are usually people to celebrate. Okay, so far, ever since I joined, I have not seen any month that has lacked somebody who was born in that month, you know. I'm yet to experience now as from January, if this culture will still be there, you know, because cultures are meant to be retained or even killed. So on this particular, okay, one thing I love about these birthdays is because they usually have such a, you know, when we talk of team building, people might not understand like really what team building is or how effective team building can be. Trust you me, this birthday is one of those days in the office that you people get to interact. You know what I mean? Like this is a time where I am in this department, somebody's in the business department, somebody's in the design department, somebody's in the drawing office, and you all of you just come together and interact just because of this one cake. Like it's ever a happy moment, you know, people interacting, talking for the first time in that, in that month, getting to know each other. Like for me being a newbie in that office, I get to see new faces, not new faces. Okay, that was then. But currently, I usually see people that I've seen, people that I know. Yes, you work in the same office as me, but we don't talk simply because we don't have that, you know, openness or instance that is bringing us together, that is bringing the communication. You know what I mean? But once you land here, I mean, you get to know people, by their name, you get to know people and the department they work in. So that, I mean, this is more of like by the time you're walking out of there, you know so well if you have to create your connection when it comes to this, the person you should go and visit, you know, you get to learn people with also their personalities. You know, that first judgment according to somebody's personality. Let me tell you, here is where you get to learn them. I have this lady again who comes in that office, not in that office, in that birthday party. We happen to be working for the same county. So like in our company, we divided according to county. So like if you work for Nairobi County, all of you are in one, all of you are in one, can I call it floor? Yeah, in one floor. So you might not actually get to interact with everybody at the end of the month. This lady has such an admirable, popping personality. You know what I mean? And ever since my first interaction with her, it was actually again in the birthday. That is when I came to learn of these, of her personality. And I was like, I think one day I'll just gather my courage and just talk to this lady. I wish she can just say yes to my request of me hosting her on Whispers Within. You know what I mean? Because she has such an admirable and popping personality, just like I've said, a personality that will be of great help. Maybe like in case I just host her, trust me, we're just going to learn so much from her. She's a lady with brains. You know what I mean? That is one thing I love about her. I like about her. Okay, love, like, whatever. Yeah. And you just, okay, yeah, that's just what I have been able to learn from the birthdays in the office. Let us now talk about this month birthday. That was the month of December. It happened to have been joined with the November babies. So it was like a November, December birthday, but it happened this December. And when we went there, as usual, introductions, you get to know people, maybe like kuna mtu hukuwaijua jina yake in the same office, you get to know his name or her name, what he does or what she does, and so many things. And this month, I was a bit touched by also the birthday party because we not only went there to just share the cake and laugh and have the fun moment. There's this colleague who came up with an idea of, since it's Christmas, why don't we share the love, the happiness, the joy with others who deserve, with others who don't have. And that is when she was mentioning of a colleague whom I have no clue of. I don't know who he is. I think I never met him because he was already sick. And I come to understand this guy is battling some serious sickness, which he has been in the hospital for the longest. He has drained all the family finances. He has drained his medical insurance, you know? And now this lady was like, yeah, so as we also celebrate Christmas, we have a WhatsApp group where we can contribute for the family of this guy, at least so that they can also feel loved. They can also feel like we never left our colleague simply because he's sick. We're still with him. We're still with the family. And let us just make their Christmas great. And me being this kind of person whom I love seeing people doing things to those people who cannot afford, or to those people who are not in the ability or capability of doing it. I mean, it's ever something that I do love so much. I feel like it's because also directly or indirectly, I've also been able to benefit from such aids, from such, good hearts in one way or another. And I believe everybody who is listening to this has, in one way or another, directly or indirectly, benefited from such aids and such good heart, such good minds of people. So I was like, wow. So it's never even about the birthday. It's never even about the happy moment and us sharing the cake. It's just even about knowing the whereabouts and the wellness of each other. I just thought about it and I was like, so if it was me, these people would have done the same thing. Like my boss would have just come and say, yo, this young guy who just joined us the other time, he has been sick and may God forbid. I'm just trying to say I was touched because I was like, this is something that is happening. It's something that I should be able to appreciate, because if it was me, this is the same thing that would have been done in the same meeting room. Can we go to the sermon that touched my heart? The sermon that touched my heart was, I just don't want to dwell so much on that, on the sick person. May God heal him, because from the kind of talk that I can't actually say here because it was being talked in the office, I could tell that man, this family, his family, this man is going through a lot. And it came to a point I was like, I wish I was just so wealthy to a point I would cater for his treatment fully, or even cater for his family needs fully, But anyway, someone that touched my heart is also joined to this story. So this time around, I tend to have stood next to the pastor who preaches to us. He's an employee also. And after the sermon, I was like, I just have to ask this guy, is it that in real sense he's a pastor, or is it just because, you see like these people who behave like everybody knows these are very godly person. Is it because out of that people were like, now you have to be the one leading us in Bible sermons and in prayers when we meet for maybe like meetings or we meet for such occasions? Or is it just like in reality when he pastor? I really wanted to know that because trust you me, his sermons are something else. There's something to learn from. There's something to encourage you and keep you motivated in life. So like I happened to have stood next to him, stood yes because there were not enough seats. They usually like 6 to 7 seats. And those seats are given priority to the old people, the old employees, yani, and anybody who might have maybe like an health issue or even the boss, right? So the rest, who is the majority, we get to stand. The pastor is next to me and it's now his time to give us a sermon, which he read a verse from Psalms, and now him now giving the real sermon. Oh my goodness. It was a story of this old man who was admitted in one of the hospitals in Nairobi, and an elderly man for that case. I think he was just admitted for 3 days. Let us just say for 3 days. So for the 3 days, I don't know whether like he slept in the hospital for the 3 days and then was discharged on the 4th day, or by 3 days, does it mean that he was, what is it called? He was admitted in the hospital for the 2 days and then on the 3rd day he was discharged. I'm not sure. But for the 3 days, his bill totaled to 500,000. So the nurse comes, gives the elderly man the bill, and she's like, here's your bill, sir. This old man starts to cry. And when the doctors now are like, why are you crying? Is it because you can't afford the bill? Maybe they're asking this because there are ways. I come to understand in every public hospital, there are this team that if at all the family is unable to raise those huge hospital bills, there's a team that sit down and discuss what next, So this man is like, no, I am in the ability to pay my bill in full. So the doctors are now like, why then are you crying? And the old man says, whatever I've read in this bill is what has made me cry. You guys are charging me 300,000 for the oxygen that I have used for the few days that I've been here. I've not even been here for a week, but my oxygen bill has totaled to 300,000, and the total bill was 500,000. Don't forget that. So this old man says, I've just thought about it, that if the oxygen I've used for the 3 days or for the 2 days has totaled to 300,000, what about if God today decides to give me a bill for the oxygen that I have used ever since I was born to date, now that I am 70 something years, And the man will be like, I wouldn't be able to pay. If for the 3 days it's totaling to 300,000, then trust you me, oxygen for 70 something years is something that I will never be able to live to pay to God. No matter how many years again God adds me on this earth, it's something that I will never afford to pay. And that is just a sermon that really struck deep into my heart, because I was like, we do take a lot of things for granted. We do take the fact that I have slept and I have woken up for granted. We do take that fact for granted. I mean, so many people are in the hospitals fighting for their lives. So many people, Others get to a point when there's no hospital in this country that is going to help you. Your case deserves somewhere else like India and Israel, But look at you, so full of health. But the only thing that is making you all dull in this life is the fact that maybe you be like, sina pesa, fulani akona do. May feel like God has not blessed me enough because I don't have money. Or my parents don't have money. I wish God would have blessed us like fulani. Just like the comparison that we usually do, and especially kids. It's just the trivial issues or the petty things that make us not appreciate life. There are greater things that God does. But to us, we usually take them like small things. I mean, who has ever sat down and thought of how precious life is? Today, if you get admitted in the hospital, maybe get to the ICU, get those oxygen tanks, and, get the oxygen aid, trust you me, again, your bill is going to shoot to millions. In just a span of days or even a week. It is going to spike to millions of money. But look at you. You're just at home, in the house, running your errands now and then. God has protected you fully from all accidents, from big sicknesses and big diseases, from big disasters. You're just ever full of health. You can breathe by yourself without the help of machines. You can do things by yourself without the help of, machines. You can feed yourself, you can eat. People in the hospitals are feeding through tubes. People even at homes. Mtu alienda hosi, maybe like akaambiwa now from today henceforth, you have to be feeding through the tubes. And now we've now discharged you simply because we can do nothing about it. This is how you're going to be doing it. Just be frequenting for checkups and whatever. Man, I thought about it. I was like, this old man is crying because he can't be able to repay for the 70 plus years he has lived. I was like, God, even for the first 1 year that I was on this earth, if you'll have given my parents the bill and be like, your son now simply because he's like a baby, this amount of bill you should pay for his oxygen, trust you me, I will be gone. If God was getting to a point where anatupatia bila kwa zile za ukishindwa kulipa ni sawa. Kaende. How many of us will be here listening to this episode right now? Probably none. I will actually not be here to record this episode for you. That is how expensive and precious life is. And that is why you shouldn't keep on messing with your life. That is why you should always keep on telling God, thank you. No matter the challenges you face, they might be small, they might be big, but hey, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. That is what this sermon taught me, by the way. I was like, I might be facing a lot in one day or even in my life, but there's always a bigger picture, which is the gifts from God. No man on this earth will ever give you gifts like those God usually give you. A man might come and give you a Range Rover right now, the latest model, the most expensive on this earth. It is worth millions of money, but what about the life that God has given you? It's worth more than this Range Rover. What about the health that God has given you? It's worth more than this Range Rover. These are just small, petty things that we just came and pressured ourselves right here on earth. Yes, I'm also pressuring myself to get that Range Rover, to get that Porsche, to get that Benz, to get that BMW, to get that, just name it. But it is always of importance to look at the bigger picture, which is life, good health, good family, good relatives, nice place you can call home. People don't have homes. The fact that you can hide your nakedness, that is by clothing, it's another thing you should be thanking God for. You can talk, you can see, you can hear. You can think clearly like a man, like a woman. You can do so many things freely. No one is judging you for that. I have nothing left to say. That was just a sermon that happened to have touched my heart. Yeah? Let us always look for that one thing to always appreciate. Kneel down and tell God, you know what? Man, I salute you. Iki tumenipatia umenibless nayo. Man, I am fine with it. Thank you. I know I might not have money right now, but God, I'm praying for money. Yes, I'm praying for wealth. I'm praying for this, but also I want to thank you the fact that you've been able to give me good health, and always saying thank you. Thank you for keeping me company to the very end. At least this episode is going to make up for the 2 weeks. Next year, next year, 2025, God willing, the second episode of the year will be a story from somebody. This month, I'm dedicating it to at least cover 2-3 stories that you guys are going to enjoy come January of 2025. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're still pushing forward. The podcast is still shining. I am praying to God that this podcast continue blessing many souls out there, just like I usually see you guys coming to tell me, oh, this and this and that. I do love those feedbacks. And because of that, remember our comment section on Spotify is always open. You can send me your comment. You can also DM me at a personal level. Ralph_Masiga being my handles across all social media platforms. Actually, links ziko kwa description box. The links to my Instagram, to my Twitter, to my whatever, all of them are on the description box. Make sure the app you're listening to or the provider you're listening to, you use to listen to your podcast is having those, descriptions in every episode. So at least you can click on that link, come, let's engage. Also, for anybody who wants to whisper something to us on this podcast, infowhisperswithin@gmail.com is our email. infowhisperswithin@gmail.com is our email. Also, you will find that email on our description box. Till next time, goodbye. Always have a reason to thank God. Always thank God, even without a reason, because there's always a reason. As long as you're breathing, there's a reason to tell God thank you. My name is Ralph Masiga. See you next episode.